Hi, welcome back to Masachet Ta'anit, Daf Tet Zayin Amud Aleph. I'm picking up from where we left off in class. Starting from Vilama Mitkasin Besakim. Why, according to the Mishnah, do we cover ourselves with sackcloth on fast days? Amar Bichia Bar Abba. Lomar Hare Anu Chashuvin Kibehima. To say that we're considered like animals. We're dressing in like a subhuman way because we are prostrating ourselves in that way. Why do we put the ashes of something burnt on the ark? Amar Yehuda ben Pazi, Klamar, Imo Anochi B'tzara. As though to say, Imo Anochi B'tzara, which is a pasuk from Tehillim, I am with you in your distress, I'm with you in your pain. And that's sort of showing that God is joining us in our distress as we are so upset and pray for rain. Reish Lakish Amar, B'chol tzaratam lo tzar. In all of your distress, God is also distressed, which sounds like very similar answers. They are basically the same idea, just expressed in two different psukim. Amar Rabbi Zera, Miresh ki hava chazina lehula rabbanan diyahave afar makla al gabe teva mizdazeh lekule gufai. Rabbi Zera just sort of tells a story about this. And initially, when I would see the rabbis put this burnt ash on the Aron Kodesh, my entire body would shake, mizdazeh, to shake. So just sort of expressing how powerful he found that experience to be. Why does everyone have to have ashes on their head? There was a disagreement about this between these two rabbis. Chad Hare anu chashuvin lefanecha ke'efer. One said, we are considered before you like dust. V'chad amar, and the other one said, Kidei sheyizkor lanu efero shel Yitzchak, so that God will remember the ashes of Yitzchak. Of course, Yitzchak wasn't actually burnt, but this is a reference to the memory of the Akedah, either the ashes of the animal that stood in for Yitzchak or the ashes of the wood that Yitzchak carried, either way. But it's definitely an Akedah reference. My beinahu, what's the difference between these two answers? Ika beinahu afar stam. The difference is stam afar, right? Afar that isn't the result of something burnt. If it's just about sort of showing that we are like dust, then any ash would do. But if it's specific to the ashes of Yitzchak, then it has to be something that was actually burnt. Lama yotzin lebeit hakvarot. Why do we go out to the cemeteries? Plige ber Rabbi Levi bar Chama v'Rabbi Chanina. Yet again a disagreement between two rabbis. Chad amar hareanu chashuvin lefanecha kemetim. So one says we are like dead people before you. We're considered like dead before you, God. V'chad amar kedei shivakshu aleinu metim rachamim, so that the dead can request mercy upon us. My beinahu, what's the difference between these two positions? Ika beinahu kivrei akum. The difference, or the where you'd be able to see the nafkamina, would be with the graves of non-Jews. Because obviously in the view of the Gemara, the graves of non-Jews, we would still be able to show that we're like the dead before God, but we wouldn't ask the souls of the non-Jews to intervene with God on our behalf. What is the meaning of this pasuk? Har HaMoriah. What's the meaning of these words, Har HaMoriah, which is a quote from Divrei Hayamim, and the question seems to be just about why it's called this. Plige ba Rabbi Levi bar Chama v'Rabbi Chanina. There's a disagreement between Rabbi Levi bar Chama and Rabbi Chanina. Chad amar har sheyatza mimenu hora'ah l'Yisrael. So one says it's because it's a mountain from which hora'ah, sounds like Moriah, teachings went out to Israel. V'chad amar har sheyatza mimenu moralo of Ovdei Kochavim. The other says the mountain from which went forth fear for the Ovdei Kochavim. Moving on. Hazaken shebehen omer lifnehen divrei kfushim. So the quote again from our Mishnah, that the eldest among them says these words of Musar. Tanu Rabbanan, im yesh zaken, omer zaken. If there's an old person there, the old person says it. V'im lav, omer chacham. And if not, then a wise person says it. V'im lav, omer adam shel tzura. And if not, then it should be said by an Adam Shel Tzura, a person an impressive person, impressive in looks, impressive in deeds, an impressive person. So that's the kind of the rankings. Then the Gemara has a question. Atu zaken zeka amre afal gabdolav chachamhu. So is the zaken that's talked about here, should you ask the oldest person even though they're not a chacham? Like, should you actually choose age over wisdom? Amar Abaye, hachi ka'amar. Abaye says, no, here's what it's really saying. Im yesh zaken v'hu chacham, omer zaken v'hu chacham. If there's an old person who's wise, you have the old person who's wise say it. V'im lav, omer chacham. And if not, then someone who's just a chacham. V'im lav, omer adam shel tzura. And if not, then it's the adam shel tzura who speaks. And what they say is, achenu lo sak v'tanit gormim ela tshuva. Uma'asim tovim gormim. It's not, my brothers, it's not sackcloth and fasting that cause it, meaning that cause God to make the rain come, but rather it's repentance and good deeds that cause it. Sheken matzinu ba'anshe Nineveh, because we found this with the people of Nineveh. Shelo ne'amar behem vayar Elohim et sakam ve'etanitam. It doesn't say about the people of Nineveh that God saw their sackcloth and their fasting. I'm putting that in single quotes because that's not what it says. Ella vayar Elohim et ma'asehem ki shavu midarkam hara'ah. Rather, it says that God saw their deeds because they had returned from their wicked ways. V'id kasu sakim, and they should wear sackcloth, right? Or they wore sackcloth. That's a quote from Yonah also. Hadam ve'habehema. The people and the animals both wore the sackcloth. So this is a quote from Yonah. Mai havu abde, what did they do? Asra habehemot l'chud ve'et havladot l'chud. They put the mother animals in one area and they locked them away from the baby animals. Amru l'fanav, and then they said, Ribono shel olam, God on high, God, of everything. Im ein ata merachem aleinu, if you don't have mercy on us, ein anu merachamim al elu, we will not have mercy on these animals. Vayikru'u El Elohim b'chazaka, they called out to God, with strength, strongly. That's also a quote from Sefer Yonah. Mayamor, what did they say? Amru l'fanav, they said, Ribono shel olam, God of the universe, aluv v'she'ino aluv, tzadik v'rasha, mi nidcha mipnei mi. So they said, someone who is sort of downtrodden, and someone who's not, and someone who's bad and someone who's not, someone who's a tzaddik and someone who's a rasha, who should get preference before whom? Meaning, it's a rhetorical question, right? Obviously, the tzaddik, but you just as one should take pity on the weaker party in all cases, you should take pity on us. Vayeshuvu ish midarko hara'ah umin hachamas asher b'kapehem. This is also a quote from Sefer Yonah, that they returned from their bad ways and from the Hamas, usually we assume refers to something stolen, that was in their hands. Mayu min hachamas asher b'kapehem. What's the meaning of this phrase? Amar Shmuel, afil gazal mirish ubna obabira, mekakea kol habira kula, umachzir mirish l'ba'alav. So what this means is that even somebody who stole a beam of wood, let's say, and built with it a building, a castle, would take down the whole thing just to be able to give that piece of wood to its owner to return. Amar Rav Adabar Ava, Adam sheyesh biyado aveira umitvadeh ve'ino chozer ba lamahu domeh. So a person who has committed a sin and like has the has confessed but doesn't return what they've done, right? Doesn't actually change their ways. What is this person compared to? L'adam shetofes sheretz biyado, like a person who's holding a sheretz, a creepy crawly thing, something that is tameh, in that person's hand. She'afilo tovel b'chol meimot shebe'olam lo alta lo tefillah. Even if that person immerses in all the waters in the world, the tefillah is not effective. But once you throw away the sheretz, once you throw away the creepy crawly, kivan shedaval arba'im seah miyad al tala l'tefillah. Once you throw that away, all you have to do is dip yourself in just 40 seah of water, obviously a lot less than all the waters in the world, and then the tefillah, the immersion, is effective. Shnei Amar, as it says in a pasuk in Mishlei, umodeh ve'ozev yerucham. It's a quote that if you have to not just modeh, not just admit your sin, but leave behind the sin, leave behind the wicked path, and then you are granted mercy. Ve'omer, and it also says in Eicha, Nasol Avenu el kapayim el b'shamayim, that we lift up our hearts to, we lift up our hearts and our hands to God on high, and it's not enough just to like lift your hands in tefillah. You have to also lift up your heart, and that's the chozer b'tshuva part. So not enough to just do the actions, but you actually have to internalize the tshuva. Okay, we'll stop there.